I'm actually going to quickly have Sophia to help me with, hello, where are you? Oh, hey. She's my Spanish-speaking representative, so come on the team. About September.
Oh, okay. Hi, ¿cómo están? Bien. No sé hablar español de España, de vosotros, y yo digo ustedes, pero nos vamos a entender bien. So who doesn't speak Spanish, actually? Okay, the three of you, just catch up. I'll let Edith translate. Solo, to make everybody else feel welcome. Muchas gracias por venir, más que todos los que están visitando desde España. Estoy muy contenta de ver tanta gente española. Y en septiembre vamos a tener BizTechDay Latino. Va a tomar lugar en USF. Y todos, por favor, regístrense en SF Entrepreneur para que les llegue la newsletter, para que sepan dónde es y para llegar, ¿no? Así que cualquier cosa que los pueda ayudar, how to make you guys feel more welcome, let me know. Thank you so much.
Okay, no, I don't know what she was saying, but it's all good. And if you like what she's saying, you can actually tweet her, and Sophia K.
Yeah.
And it's Sophia, and then K-E-C-K is her handle. Anyway, Melinda is over there, so make sure that you actually follow her tweet, which is after SF Entrepreneur. So with that, I want to actually start our speaking program, and what I'm going to do is actually shape most of the questions around, I want to get to know most of these guys, and really, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to quickly introduce who they are and why they're here, and I'm going to ask about like 4 or 5 different questions about some of their background, why they're here, and some of the advice they have for us, and then after that, I will open up probably for about 10 or 15 minutes for a Q&A. And then at 7:45, I'm going to have Cesar to come up to introduce our awesome companies tonight. 30 seconds. Keep it short. All right. With that, so first and foremost, we have Jeff Clavier. And Jeff is our partner for SoftTech VC. And he's a very active angel investor locally. I'm very excited to have him. Thank you so much for coming. He's also one of, I think 2 years ago on Business Week, one of the 25 most important people on the internet, according to...
don't be a journalist.
I was very impressed. So that is actually on the end.
That's it.
Louis Lumiere, did I say that right?
Hi, Louis.
Louis. So how many actually of you been to the web? Okay. Hey, for the rest of you in Europe, you definitely need to go. When is it going to be this year?
It's December 7, 8, 9 of December in Paris. And we have a lot of Spaniards, not enough, so you should come. 60 countries, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Sorry. I'll hold it.
So anyway,
60 countries and 3,000 people in Europe. So we try to bring Silicon Valley to Europe, and we succeeded pretty well so far.
Cool, awesome. Welcome. And also he's the founder of C-Smith, so we'll learn a little bit more about it later on. And last but not least is Bernardo Hernandez. And we actually met through one of our mutual friends, Ethan. I actually didn't know about, honestly, I didn't know about Bernardo's at all until a couple of months ago, so I'm very excited to have you. And you are actually running emerging products for Google, is that correct? Which we'll learn a little bit more later on tonight. So welcome, thank you. So, actually my first question is very casual. Why did you guys leave Europe for Silicon Valley? Why? Why are you here?
So back in '93, I came here on a business trip, and I thought it was cocky to rent a convertible and drive down 101 from SFO, and I thought, this is so cool, I'm gonna come here. And so that's that. But I actually made it.
So when you realized you froze your ass.
Yes, that's why I only in San Francisco like you. But we realized that this was sort of just a place where we both, as a family, wanted to move with my wife, and I thought that was actually just great as for me to do the next step of my career. And so I took a turn out of being an entrepreneur to become a VC and move here 11 years ago. And it was one.
He's already gone through the workshop.
Yeah.
And not that it's bad, but it's smaller.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm actually original from Hong Kong, so when I go back to Hong Kong, I think in Chinese. Anyway, Bernardo, why did you move here?
it's much bigger.
The distance it is. So, in my case, I'm from a small town in Spain. I'm from Salamanca. And I learned from a very early age that big things happen in big places. So I soon knew that I had to move from Salamanca to Madrid for me to start doing big places. But then, after a while, I realized that Madrid wasn't big enough. I started a couple of companies in Spain, and I realized that there was an even bigger thinking, and it was happening in the technology world here in the Silicon Valley. And I was coming here with Google for about a couple of years, and I was running marketing product for Google Spain. And I realized very soon that it doesn't get bigger than the Silicon Valley for technology. And I also realized, which I think is critical, probably you all agree, that innovation happens when you interact a lot with great people. It's not a coincidence that, as human beings, we like to be in clusters, and we like to get together with the people that do similar things. And the bigger the pool, the bigger the ideas, and the bigger the successes. So I realized very soon that just coming here, I was going to be exposed to a bigger thinking and bigger possibilities for me to keep growing as a technology entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about surrounding yourself with great people. And
I give you an example. I have a friend of mine just this weekend. Every day I experience what you just said. I'm sorry, maybe you had a question, but I'll give you this example. I was having a quick coffee with a friend. I won't say who he is. And he's like, "What's your valuation for Seismic?" And I, I really answer that question. But if you think it's in the 50 range, that's what I would say, and so on. And he's like, "Is that all? You settle for that? You should aim at $1 billion." You see what I mean? If I was in Europe, people would tell me, "Oh, but you're crazy. That's a bubble." You see what I mean? It's a different mindset.
Yeah, I definitely a lot
Ambition.
of my ambition, and a lot of my friends here in the Valley is all about thinking a lot bigger and really push me to a different level. So, just a quick show of hand. How many of you actually thinking, perhaps just a little bit, wanting to move here? Okay, there's a lot of you guys. So,
Where is the lawyer for visa?
so in terms of, so just quickly, with you guys' experience, in terms of entrepreneurship, and we actually wrote an article about it. In terms of entrepreneurship, what's the biggest difference that you guys see? Other than, in addition to thinking bigger, what's the main difference between where you guys are from and here?
So, I've spent now 10 years, almost 11 years being an investor, and for 7 years I've been in the very early stage, seeding 99 companies. Yeah. And I think that the major difference is both the acceptance of risk, because failure isn't such a big deal here compared to Europe, yeah, and the fact that people naturally think just bigger, as you discussed. And I think that because you accept inherently that if you fail, it might not be such a big deal, then you'll go, do crazy things, because they might be crazy, but there is 1% chance to build a really big company. And the issue in Europe is much more, if ever I fail, I'm going to have that stamp of failure for the rest of my life. And therefore there's going to be big consequences, and that leads you to try and manage risk, to control risk, or to take less risk. Whereas here, people are just crazy and go all out on things which have a really limited chance to work. But if they do, then you can really create something successful.